whether we get parity on the pound or otherwise, simply means that inflation will go up and interest rates will have to go up to match it. I'm struggling with the frog a bit like Theresa May. As long as things don't start falling off the board, all right. So we talked about structures, we talked about planning, we've got those concepts into things. And it's not that most people plan to fail, it's just that we fail to put a plan in place. And there's something about landlords I've found over time. Procrastination is in this industry. I know we've dealt with over 900 landlords in 5 years on this topic. I know part of the issue is misinformation. You hear lots of things and you're trying to filter out what is fact and what is not fact, what is a good thing to do and what is not a good thing to do. And that's why it's really hard for anyone with any credibility to stand up in a room like this today and go, you should do this. Because actually your circumstances are all very different. Your aspirations and your goals are all very different. With the landlord tax today, we have over 4 different ways of approaching it, 4 different ways of dealing with that tax. Some are instant, some are not instant. The ones that are not instant are often because you have other drivers going through your business, like CGT, that you want to sell the properties and move them on. So if I give you an example, so incorporation is a thing that people talk to us a heck of a lot about. Incorporation is a process where we take your portfolio owned by you today and we move it to a limited company. The original driver for people doing that in 2015-2016 was because they wanted to get out of the Section 24 issue. I'd say more often these days, that is not the driver for people wanting to incorporate and move into a limited company. The driver today for people wanting to do that is to mitigate capital gains tax. Because when you move a portfolio through the incorporation process, which you have to wait for 2 years for it to qualify as a business, again using a structure, in our case, limited liability partnership, and you move it to the limited company, at the point you move that portfolio to the limited company, something interesting happens. So Mr. Smith here at the front bought a property 10 years ago for 100,000 in his own name, and then we incorporate it into a limited company and it's now worth £1 million, it sits on the books in the limited company at £1 million. If Mr. Smith then chooses to sell that property for £1 million in the limited company, his capital gains tax is calculated from £1 million up and not 100,000. So he's just washed away £900,000 worth of gains. And for some people, that's the right thing to do. Whether you bought a portfolio where the numbers no longer work, or you're simply looking to sell out and pay down, there are all sorts of reasons why people do that. The landlord tax was one of the main drivers for doing that incorporation journey. And what we found, having taken hundreds of landlords through it, is they get to the point where they're ready to move their property title and remortgage all their properties to the limited company and move it all in, and they're suddenly starting to calculate the costs. Limited company mortgages are more expensive, the interest rates are higher. You have a one-off fee to pay, they've got the conveyancing fee, the valuation fee, and then it's caught in a limited company. And I'd say over 75% of our landlords that we originally took through the incorporation process stalled at moving into limited and said, Simon, is there another option? And the answer is yes. Of those 75%, they all tended to be people who've got gearing above 65% loan to value. Where it's 50% loan to value below, they're much more comfortable moving into the limited company because the finance shock, the increased cost of finance, is a lot lower, and therefore was not so much of an issue. So for those that got to that point saying, Simon, don't want to incorporate, don't want to look at that, what else can we do? with these things called mixed property partnerships. Now when I say that, when we do a mixed property partnership, it's simply an LLP with a limited company corporate member. And it achieves many things. One is, it's an instant solution to Section 24. Two, it's a brilliant model for resolving IHT. Absolutely brilliant. I.e., we can put your children in and move the equity that's owned by you to your children. So moving your equity out of your estate. And in so doing, mitigate the 40% IHT liability you would have had on your portfolio had you gone down that route. Does that make sense? Inheritance tax. Now this is a strange one. I say this is the one that people are least motivated to deal with, in that it's a tax that gets paid after you've gone. Okay? There are certain sections of our population who I say have been excellent at paying down debt. And I can almost point to who those communities are. It's part of their value system. All they want to do is pay down debt. They've got these great portfolios. They spent their life over here building those portfolios. And now they know they've got a massive IHT liability when they move that to the next generation. And that's part of who they is. That's the legacy they want to move on. If I use a mixed property partnership for doing that, the cost of doing it is much lower than if I do it with someone that owns property in a limited company. In a limited company, the kind of solutions that we use are trusts. We use a lot of trusts that own the shares of a limited company. So where the primary mum and dad or mum or whoever owns those properties originally, on their death, there's no IHT of them. But you've got this trust structure to the right of it that's set up, where their dependents and their dependents, bloodline dependents, can extract money from those assets for forever and a day. And because it's bloodline planning, neither divorce nor bankruptcy can affect that trust. They don't get access to it, which is also quite nice. But the costs of doing it are quite high. And I've been selling these trusts for years, but let me tell you, when landlords look at it, they go, ooh, that's a bit high. The other alternative is to insure the liability. Here, we put a life assurance product in place for Mr. Smith. I'll use you again, Mr. Smith. I'll tip you later. The life assurance is designed to pay off the tax liability on death, i.e. the trust pays the children on death. So when mum and dad are gone, it pays out the tax liability. They pay it to HMRC. That was one of the most painful checks they ever write. It's something big. Liability is paid for, assets transferred to children. That again is also an expensive way of doing it, because you've got ongoing annual costs, as you have with the trust, of a policy that you're paying monthly. Now they can be structured very tax efficiently to do it, but it's one of three options. And for me to stand here today and go, option A, B or C is right for Mr. Smith, is very difficult without me spending a lot of time with Mr. Smith going, tell me about your circumstances, tell me about what you've got, where you're going, and what it is you want to achieve. Then together we often arrive at the same destination, which is, this is the right way forward. Capital gains tax. We never initially set out to come up with a solution for capital gains tax. The capital gains tax solution arose because of the amount of incorporations we did, and people could not believe they got this baseline increase of what their property was worth when they bought it and what the property is worth now as they transfer it into the limited company. Capital gains tax, again, is a tax that you need planning for, that you need to probably have sat down with someone 2 years prior to the sale of that property. I think the shortest we've ever taken someone through that process is just under 14 months, the qualifying period prior to moving to the limited company. If you sell in your own name, you'll pay tax at 28%. If you go through an incorporation process and we put it in a limited company, and you sell fairly soon after you put it in there, you'll pay 0%. If you have a gain, you'll pay corporation tax rate. The corporation tax rate will be 19% on the gain. Then you're left with the problem that the cash is left in the business. Now you can extract that over a period of time. You can pay off debt with that. You can buy different property stock. you can do whatever you want. You can put an investment fund if you so wish. But there is a catch. There is a catch in this process that was taught in Accounting 101 and has come about mainly through landlords in London doing very, very well in property growth. So, when a landlord's property has grown and grown and grown, typically in the South East, and every year or every few years, they've increased the mortgage as the property has grown. So the property grows, increase the mortgage, property grows, increase the mortgage, property grows, increase the mortgage. Take the money out. Taking that money out has been great. It's been a tax-free way of accessing cash, great. Until you want to incorporate, or until you want to incorporate into the CGT. Then what happens is, when we look at your numbers, if today's mortgage is greater than the original purchase price of your property, then you get taxed at 32.5% on the difference. That's been a bit of an eye-watering event for some of our landlords. And of course, some of the drivers for the point to sell those properties have been, I'm trying to avoid Section 24. I'm trying to balance what I do up in my portfolio. So we've had to look at that. And we do have solutions for how we can deal with the 32.5% tax that arises because the lack of business transfer relief that's now available to their portfolio. But yet again, come and talk to us, come and book in for your consultation, and you'll see the kind of solutions that we're offering to people and something that's actually personal and bespoke to you. So, if you'd like to book in that free consultation, you can see Scott. If you haven't done it already, you can book it at the kiosk just around the corner here. What we're trying to do is assess the tax impacts for you over the short term. When I take the Section 24 tax and I show people what it looks like over 10 years, their jaw drops. It's as if they've paid off 1 or 2 mortgages. If I then show them the effect of that, if interest rates normalise and go back to 7%, their jaw drops. I had a guy in the week, 6.5 million portfolio, 4.5 million lending. That's quite a large portfolio. The Section 24 impact on him over 10 years was £625,000 in additional tax. Did he worry when we charged him less than £20,000 to solve that tax? No. When we spread it over 12 months, did he worry? No. He was delighted. And then when we told him about the IHT thing and how we could solve that, he was over the moon. And that was a solution that was bespoke for him. And we want to get the same kind of bespoke solution for you. So come and meet the team. We're here for you. We're here for the next generation. We've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. We haven't just set up in business because there's an opportunity here to make business for landlords. We are accountants. We are a top 80 firm. We turn over 10 million. We serve over 6,000 businesses. We'll be a top 15 firm in the next 15 years, Scott, if we keep tracking down the same plans we are now. So that's my message to you today. I hope that's had some help to some of you in some of your positions. I'm quite happy to take questions. We're not under time pressure today because guess what? I'm the last speaker. I've got the last slot. So if you've got any questions that are pertinent, I'll answer them now. If not, you can come and see us outside. Any questions? Section 24. Can I explain Section 24? Section 24, or the landlord tax as it's now called, is a piece of legislation where there is a tapering relief on the amount of mortgage interest you can use as a cost against your rental income. Today, you can only use 25%